Thank you ever so much for that, Richard. Can you all hear me at the back? Yeah, bad luck. For those of you that haven't had the pleasure, my name's Ernie Warrender, and I find myself, well, I'm the National Party spokesman for, well, I think I'm the National Party spokesman at the moment, actually. Richard alluded to it. I find myself in the role of Remainer. So I think I'm going to spend all night whinging, bleating and moaning and demanding another go. I speak for small business and also for the countryside. And I didn't resign because I felt the point had been made by people a lot higher up the food chain than me. And someone needed to hang around to promote the party and also to look after the interests of those 6 million small businesses and those 17.4 million disenfranchised Democrats who are represented, I say represented, by 72% Remain House of Commons and about a 99% House of Lords. Yeah. And I've done my best to be a little squeak in the darkness. Now, a lot of people say, oh, you spokesman, what do? You never hear of you, don't do anything. Richard, poor old Brian behind the cameras, Stuart and other people who aren't here will tell you I'm at it every single day. You ring the BBC. Can I make it quite clear I'm not going to be discussing the contents of neither mine nor Henry's trousers tonight, okay? So,
hooray!
Yeah. It would be a small conversation. I'm on at them, and they say, oh Ernie, it'd be great to have you on the politics show, marvellous. UKIP who? You know, I'm really sorry, we can't get you a slot. There's an old saying that says, any publicity is good publicity. And before I go on to abuse all of you, which I'm going to do, because I've got the conch shell, Richard, Brian, Stuart, Goggly Stuart, have moved heaven and earth to put this event on. Bill has come down from a long way away. Gareth has come from another country.
It's not another country, it's a region.
Foreigner.
There's a bucket at the end, and be careful what you fill it with. I want you to put a £5 in minimum. I shall be watching. You're going to have a good night's entertainment. Well, you have had. It's downhill from now on. All right? And I want to thank you to these guys for putting this on. I've stayed on to try and represent people. Suddenly, any publicity is good publicity. We had a golden opportunity, and what do we do with it? You know, Nigel gave a great speech in Ireland. Some people say he gave it in error, but that's another joke. He gave a great speech in Ireland. I know you're out there, I can hear you breathing. And he said that there was a guy in America, little known guy, the press didn't want to know him, they couldn't stand him. And he went round the back door and he used social media, which you've heard alluded to. And that little chap in America's got 45 million followers now, and the press have to put him on the front page every week. And when he gets on the front page, he does what we have signally failed to do, with a few exceptions, and I'll name them. People like Paul Oakden, Peter Whittle, David Curtin, who've gone on national television. And obviously all the presenters want to do, and bear this in mind, any of you who get the media on at you, we get told how to perform on telly. I'll rephrase that as well. We get told, because these people, all they're interested in is making fools and idiots of us and the salacious details. And what these people did, Peter Whittle, Paul Oakden, they went on national television and they said, look, that's very interesting, but can we just talk about the real issues? There's 17.5 million people who are disenfranchised. We're going to lose our fishing. It's just going to be slung away down the gutter. And they got on with issuing and talking about what we are supposed to be doing, not backbiting, sticking the knife in. I went on national radio and with a member of the NEC, funnily enough, who sadly just wanted to stick the knife in and to wash our dirty laundry in public. And I said, can you just hold on a second, please? Can we put this in perspective? This is not the Prime Minister of Great Britain, yeah, John Major, having an affair with the very alluring Edwina Curry.
She's not.
Yeah. This is not Keith Vaz, a shadow spokesman in a taxpayer-funded apartment with 2 East European rent boys whistling up a few snorts. while his wife and children are at home. This is not Clive, I'm a front bench spokesman, get on your knees bitch, pardon my French ladies. Labour MP. Taken in a back room, made a cup of tea and a, oh no it's Labour, sorry, glass of champagne and some canapes. Told to keep quiet and promoted a month later. You know? Get it in perspective, please. We have a huge message to bring to people. I welcome this because I come from an environment, there's no such thing as a problem, only an opportunity. Sometimes you've got to really keep repeating that to yourself, but you know, that's true. We suddenly have the ear of the press, and some people have taken and they've grasped that, other people haven't, they have just used it, like I say. I had to reduce myself to saying, look, this is the difference between UKIP and the other parties. We're open, we're transparent, we don't take you in a little back room, make you a cup of tea, pat you on the head and promote you. We're very open about this. Labour, we have got to grow up as a party. And I address that comment to everybody. The Labour Party, I reckon a third can't stomach Corbyn and his Marxist mates. Fair? That third? Yeah. Yeah. Do they all throw their toys out the pram? I'm leaving to set up the me and Fred in a shed and me dog.com party. No, they don't. They don't like it, but they get on with it. The Tories, I don't know, 25% don't like Theresa May, 25, 25, 27, 27, 27, 29, 29. It's a bloody auction. It's a lot. Do they throw their toys out the pram? No. No, they don't. They get on it. Anna Soubry doesn't count. She I heard that. I can multitask. We have got to grow up. We've got to learn to deal with our problems professionally and properly. I do have a vision for UKIP. There's a massive gap in British politics. The Lib Dems, I had, even myself, at the bottom of the, well, I suppose it's been called the swamp, hasn't it? Up at the bottom of the swamp, I get Michael Crick ring me up. Michael bloody Crick. He said, oh, Ernie, I'd like to talk to you. I said, Michael, I don't want to talk to you. Goodbye. Thank you. I know my place. And for the older ones amongst you, you'll remember that. I'll explain later, Rhys. The only trouble with, as he said about Bill and Ben, is the young people don't understand it, and us old ones have got Alzheimer's, we've forgotten. We have got to put a vision to the British public, and I've tried to do that, and I've said to them, you know, there's a huge yawning gap. There are an awful lot of Labour people who are just fed up, but they could no more vote Conservative than fly to the moon. There's a lot of Tories. I'm meeting some of the Tory donors later on in the month who are fed up. They are fed up. And they want to talk to us. We have to sort this out. What I would say to you, when you go to the EGM, point one, be careful what you wish for, and be very clear about the decision you're going to make. Having made it, when they give you the results of that count, I don't want to see anybody from this room scream, have a fit and walk out. I did not support Henry Bolton as leader. I actually campaigned for one of the other people. And when Henry won at that conference, I went, right, and I walked up, shoved my way through the crowd, stuck myself in his face. I said, Henry, I'm Ernie, I'm one of your spokesmen. Give me a ring when you've got 5 minutes. My father once said something to me. He was on the gate at RAF Scampton in the war, waiting to go out on those bloody bombers so that we would have freedom of speech and we would not be bossed around by Europeans. That was a waste of time, wasn't it? An officer walked by the gatehouse and all of the guard turned their back on him. And the officer turned round and he said, whatever you think of me, you respect the uniform in the office. All right? And at this moment in time, that is where I sit. I have stayed on to campaign for the party. All right? I will probably sit on the fence. As a spokesman, I don't think it's my place to dictate one way or the other. You're hearing active campaigning on both sides. What I will say about social media, I'm sick to death of seeing personal tweets on or whatever they're called on Facebook. Play the ball, not the man. All right? Listen, thanks ever so much. Don't forget a £5 or I'll make you listen to me again. No, they never returned my calls. I actually got roped in, I got collared by the BBC about the Stephen Wolfe the drama queen issue. And I was desperate not to talk about it, so I thought I'll slag the NEC off instead. And like a dog with a bone, the BBC went for it. I basically, because I'm in business, more by accident than design. I was in a squat 30 years ago, thrown out of Australia for not having a work permit. Great advert. And all the people in my company know a lot more about how to run it than I do. I just happen to be the prat who got a divorce, sold his house, put all the money into buying it in the first place. And what we need is bi-directional communication. What do I mean by that? I actually said quite radically that UKIP should be run by a board of trained directors as a company. And there should be, because for years, we in the southwest, and I'll count Gloucestershire, just, we in the southwest had no representation on the NEC. None at all.
It's an elected body. I'm sick of all this nonsense about the NEC.
Thank you. And apart from, I believe, Steve Crowther used to pop up every so often, I believe we should give more concern to the chairs. There should be a national chairs executive, because you go to a meeting, you go to your branch meeting, and under any other business, you put your hand up and you say, I'm fed up with this, and someone says, I second that, I second that. You have a vote, your chair goes to his county meeting, under any other business, it's all done properly, and the message goes up, the message comes down. I do believe we have suffered terribly from lack of communication. I know, I'm a National Party spokesman, Gareth touched upon it. That's the chap who didn't phone me back when I left a message for him yesterday. 15 all.
Phone me.
And basically, I get none of it. I get my emails from him. He's like the UKIP snitch for me. And I'm supposed to be a National Party spokes. It has to be sorted out. There's a wonderful chap called Guy Parfitt who isn't here tonight, but he turns up at virtually everything. He used to send out religiously every week the Southwest UKIP news or what have you. One chap, in a few hours, pushed a button and out went 4,000 of these things. It ain't rocket science. It really isn't. We just need the will to do it. Sorry to bang on.
No.
Who's the best leader we ever had? Is he any good to be Pope?
Absolutely.
Is there anyone in the room with more skeletons in the cupboard than him? If you can find someone with personality enough to overcome that, then it kind of doesn't matter. Yes, we need... Yeah, sorry, I didn't interrupt you.
Would you want a leader who was...
You didn't want Nigel Farage?
Would you want a leader who was absolutely perfect? I don't think so.
We're not electing the Pope.
No, but...
We're electing somebody who'll have the strength of character to deal with that in the media, and that's a huge issue. And as I said earlier, albeit, Bill touched on it, we're on 5% now, we were on 2%. We had a golden opportunity to grab. Some people tried, some people didn't. We need some unity in the party, and we need to act and behave as a cohesive party. But whatever happens at the EGM, get behind them.